You die?
Yeah,
Okay.
something. I very seldom DQ a dog. Okay,
Mm.
and to be honest with you, man, it hurts me more than the participant because what happens when I do something like this, it really affects that person. For the fact of the matter is, he's most first of all, he's probably more embarrassed than anybody in the whole place, and he probably turns to me. He probably hates Papa Pitt after that. But the thing is, though, this is why I go back to saying, you have to prep your dog for these shows. So if you got a
Mhm.
dog that is human aggressive, that dog does not belong in a show environment. One of the one of the top
Oh.
one of the top faults in showing dogs, American Pit Bull Terriers, Amstaffs, American Bullies, exotics, the number one rule you don't want to break is human aggression. So
Mm.
when I go into these show
Mm.
rings, I put myself in jeopardy. Uh,
Yes. That's facts.
I put myself in jeopardy 100 times. If there's 100 dogs, I'm the guy that's going to be down in that dog's face. I'm the guy that's going to reach out to bite.
Yeah.
So so when you do this, you're not being respectful towards me. You're not being respectful to the people in that dog show ring or the people outside that ring. Because if he takes the leash, if he
Mhm.
turns to me and wants to bite me, who's to say he may not bite one of them little children walking by or something like that?
Right.
So it's one of those things where that dog doesn't belong in that environment. And the thing is,
Mhm.
though, these dogs that are like that can actually be fixed. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of you understanding your dog and making them understand that I am the pack leader. When a
Mhm.
dog leashes out, a lot of times it's because he thinks he's protecting his owner, and this is where you have to
Mm.
this is where you have to establish and tell him, don't trip, man. I got this, big dog. It's like your homeboys. You got a boy that you already know he's going to act up, and you know that he's going to cause trouble. You don't want to trouble yourself. Hey, chill, man. I got this situation. You know what I'm saying? The same
Mm.
thing applies to your dog. When you get that dog in there, he really thinks he's protecting you, but you have to establish pack mentality. You have to establish that I am the leader, and guess what? I got this under control, big dog. So you just
Right.
relax.
Right.
And so when that dog that lunged at me, he just didn't lunge. He actually took a nip at me. And
Oh.
see, so that's what the whole thing was. He just didn't lunge at me. He tried to bite me. And with that being said, I have to excuse him because that is a big DQ. We
Right.
don't want
Right. That
dogs.
makes sense.
We don't want something like that to happen again to somebody that's not even the ring. Like I said, what happens if little children? If you watch kids around dogs, the first thing they want to do is they want to get down low and put their face to face with the dog. You can
Yeah.
watch
That's
this a
true.
thousand times. Little kids get the dog, and for some reason, I don't know why they do this. They want to get in that dog's face and look him right in his face. And for you people that have kids and you go to these shows, teach your children not to go low and face to face because with dogs, when you go face to face, it's a challenge.
It's a
Challenge.
challenge. Yeah.
It's a challenge. So you never want your kids, some. In fact, teach your kids that they want to touch your dog. Tell them, some. This is how you do it. You go to the handler. You go to Arnold, and he has his dog. Say, Arnold, can I touch your dog? And that way, he's aware and he's watching you when you reach down to touch that puppy. He's watching his dog. He's watching the kid, and he makes sure that everything is cool. It's not going to be a situation where it's out of hand. So, if he sees his dog kind of like not comfortable and he got his eyes going a little bit wild and he's big and he's kind of pulling away, that's a sign he's trying to tell you, I'm not comfortable as a little child next to me. So this is where I'm trying to tell you guys is, teach your dogs and teach your children. Too many times people get dogs and they never teach the children. You get a you get a dog home, and it's the first dog at the house with the kids, and the kids don't understand. And all of a sudden, this little kid comes up to the dog and he puts his finger in the dog's butt, and,
Oh.
or he runs up and grabs him by the ear. It's one of those things that they didn't really teach the dog.
Mhm.
Even when I'll give an example when I have puppies, and I got puppies and I brought them home to the family, or I'm getting ready to send a puppy I always make sure that I acclimate these kids, not the kids, but the dogs, to the same situations they're gonna have with kids. So in other words, if I got puppies or even a dog that's a little bit older is gonna go to a home with children, I'll get down there
Mhm.
and I'll make sure when he's eating, I'll put my hand in his food. I'll grab his paws, I'll grab his ears, and if he makes any kind of gesture towards me with any kind of aggression, I correct him hard. To
Yeah.
not do
Mhm.
that. But the thing is, though, I acclimate him to it. you know, I make sure that I put my hands in that food when he's eating on purpose. I'll grab him by the ear when he's eating on purpose. I want him to react. You know, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't want him to react, but if he does react, I'm going to correct him. So that way, when he goes to that new family, he knows that it's cool. You know, it's okay to, man, that little kid grabs me by my tail when I'm eating, or grabs my paw, or, you know, he grabs me by my nose. That way, when he's eating, he's not going to trip out, because most of your dog, you know, he's gonna go into that dominant, protect my food mode, and that's just the nature of the beast. You know, the beast. So, you know, it's a lot of times when we have situations where dogs act out, it's not the dog's fault, man. It isn't, really isn't.